Hello and welcome everybody. What is going on? So it is the TransferTalk tour today. Today is the 27th of December 2016. The year is almost over and the winter transfer window has pretty much just begun or will about to begin. So it's natural that there is a lot of rumours surrounding, especially our players, considering how well some individual players have been. And so I do not see it as a surprise. It is of no surprise to me that Thiago Alcantara is rumoured right now to be heading to Barcelona. Now, this rumour comes from Don Ballon, which I love that name. Don Ballon, Don Ballon. Oh, that's a brilliant name. But this rumour comes from Don Ballon, which, by the way, is not very credible whatsoever. I've looked up a few things. I've talked to a few people that are more familiar with that, and they've said that that is not. It's not credible whatsoever. It's it's a tabloid essentially. And they just make up rumors. But 40 million, that is the rumored fee that they will pay for Thiago if they were to actually go for it. They say that Luis Enrique he really wants to bring Thiago Alcantara back to Barcelona, and there are two things that I want to say about this, and then and then I'm going to talk about both sides because this is the only thing that I'm going to talk about today in this video. So two things that I want to say. First of all, I think it's a very huge compliment that our players are linked to other clubs. I think that's always, for me, I know a lot of people always say, why are players linked? They're always happy and whatnot. But for me, I think that's a huge compliment because no team would spend a lot of money for a player that is average. So for me, that's just a huge compliment to the players itself. And I think if I was a player and I'd seen my name being linked with this club and this club, I'd take that as a huge compliment. So from that point, that's a huge compliment. And from the second point, never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen, and the reason for that is quite simple. First of all, Thiago, his wife, is pregnant, and obviously they wouldn't want to move right now. And he's already stated that he won't return to Barcelona. He's already stated that he won't follow Pep Guardiola. He's already stated that, you know what, because obviously the whole thing, a lot of people have obviously speculated that is he gonna follow Pep wherever he goes? Is he gonna go back to Barcelona, a la Cesc Fabregas? And he's obviously came out and said, no, that's not the case. I'm not Pep Guardiola's pet, and I'm very happy right now at Bayern Munich, so there is no reason for me to move. So considering that he's already said that, he out of all the players, I think he's one of the least. I think he's one of the players that has the least probability of moving, and the reason for that is quite simple. He's a very honest person. Thiago's a very honest person. If you go back to to an interview that he did just after he signed for us, he did an interview with a Spanish radio, I believe it was. Literally a month or so after he moved to us, he did an interview with Spanish radio, and he was speaking his mind. And obviously, it wasn't really. He was saying things that didn't make sense in the slightest because they were basically asking him, about the team itself and which team is better, the Bayern Munich team or the Barcelona team, and we're going through the individual positions. And I was just listening to that. I was like, Thiago, you're new at the club, man. You're new at the club, and you're comparing some squad players at Barcelona and saying that they're better than the players at Bayern. And that's just raised an eyebrow for me. But to me, that just shows that he is honest. He'll speak his mind, and I think that's a good. Honestly, I think that's a good trait because I speak my mind as well, and I like people that speak their minds because might as well go out with your opinion or not, or don't have an opinion at all, essentially. So. Yeah, that's the 2 points I want to talk about. Now, obviously, the plus points and the negative points, like the could it happen or could it not happen? Well, let's go with it could happen. Let's go with that aspect, right? Let's go with, okay, there's a possibility that he'll go to Barcelona, he'll go back to Barcelona. What are the points for that? What are the chances of that? I think the chances of that are probably around, give or take 10%. I think the chance for that about give or take 10%, and the reason for that is he might want to go back to play with his brother, and that's the only real thing that I see, that he might want to play with his brother. And if that's the case, we should just buy his brother Rafinha. Yeah, maybe we should. I'm just putting that out there, but yeah, that's the one big reason why I could possibly see him go back to Barcelona to play with his brother. Obviously, his brother chose Brazil. He chose Spain. So that could be the only chance of him left of playing with his brother. So that's that. That's in my opinion the biggest point, the biggest factor of him maybe returning to Barcelona. But then you look at the factors of him staying, which I think are 90%. He's currently he's basically guaranteed a place right now in the first 11. He's basically locked that down. When he was injured, obviously, we still stuck by him. That's obviously a huge plus as well, especially for a player. If you're out for, I think it was, what was it, 346 days? It was basically a year. It was basically a year that he was out. He made a whole video about that and saying how grateful he was and everything to his family, to the club and everyone. So that's that. And the fact that he seems to be getting along with all the players right now. Obviously, it's not that big of a factor because obviously you gotta get along with everyone anyway. You gotta get along with everyone anywhere, anyways. But I still think that's maybe a bit of an important factor that the players that you normally hangs around with, which are obviously Rafinha, Javi, these kind of players, that they have a position in the team, that they are still at the club. So that's that. His contract, I believe, runs till 2019, which will probably get extended in around. I think maybe 2017, early 2017. No, not early 2017. Early next season, I should say. I think that's when his contract will get extended to maybe like 2021, something like that, or 2022. But for me, yeah, he's a definite. He considering that he's a first team starter. He's gonna get a new contract, and that's that for me. But that's the only reason I have for you guys today, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me what you guys think. Is Thiago gonna move to? Is Thiago gonna? Well, first of all, is Thiago gonna move, right? Then second of all, is Thiago gonna move back to Barcelona? And third of all, how reliable do you think Don Balon is, and how reliable do you think this rumor is? Let's say, give me a percentage, right? Like I said, I said he's 90% gonna stay, 10% gonna leave. Tell me what you guys think. Obviously, a lot of people say 100% he's gonna stay, but I don't want to say 100% because I know a lot of players have always thought they're gonna stay forever, and then they didn't. So 90-10. That's my prediction right now. Tell me what you guys think down in the comment section down below. As always, you can rate, comment, subscribe. Peace out and have a nice day. Bye.